Yeah, it absolutely still feels like a dream, and I just keep waiting to wake up. But I hope that I don't, because it has been absolutely awesome living up here, working with my crewmates. Probably the most surprising and most fun thing for me, or one of the most fun things for me, has been getting to learn how to work and operate basically in 3 dimensions in a full volume. And it's been so interesting watching how your brain so easily adapts to using all of the wall space and all of the volume so quickly.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I mean, there's nothing specifically that comes to mind. We as a crew have not had a chance to use toilet, like the new toilet system yet. But the legacy one that I also used during my first flight just seems to work quite well. And there's certainly different adapters that maybe work better for the female anatomy that are available here on board. So it works quite well. So yeah, the espresso machine unfortunately is not on board anymore. It was deorbited or brought back to the ground a few years ago. In terms of the missions to Moon and Mars, I have to say that we would probably have to adapt to smaller size vehicles than ISS. And probably also to having less creature comforts rather than more. But that's part of what we do here on ISS, right, is to test technologies and also concepts of habitation that hopefully will be helpful in those missions beyond low Earth orbit, where we can still have what we need to survive and thrive as human beings, but probably using less resources and space than we have available here on space station. We often say that it's a little bit like a camping trip. You have to adapt, but I would say space station is definitely a luxury camping trip, and a mission to the moon or even beyond to Mars would be maybe less luxurious in terms of space and creature comforts.
Please do.
Oh, yes. No, I was just going to add that we certainly are spoiled up here on the ISS. We're living pretty good. We've got great snacks, great food, great company, obviously, and access to internet and other creature comforts like that. So we definitely are living large. Yeah, it's certainly a pleasure to be up here and an honor to be up here with all of my crewmates, including Samantha here. And I'm certainly grateful for our crew and the crew complement that we have put together. Certainly, I think in the future, we certainly have an increasingly diverse astronaut corps, both in the NASA Corps and then hopefully soon in the ESA Corps as well. And so the possibilities in terms of mixing and matching of crews is ultimately endless as we look towards the moon and Mars. Unfortunately, I don't have any moon rocks with me. They wouldn't let me take those up here. They're way too valuable, I think, and they wouldn't be safe in my hands. But I do have a few other rocks, including a meteorite, actually. So kind of returning it back to its home, and then we'll bring it back down to Earth once again. So just excited about those little treasures that I have.
I do have some meals that have been prepared for me by the actually the same chef that prepared my meals in my first flight. They're not up here with me yet. They will come on a cargo mission in a few weeks from now. So I haven't tried them in space yet. But yeah, I've kind of like on my first mission, I really focused on trying to have healthy, nutritious meals. And then maybe something special. There's going to be also some snack bars that include some flour made from insects. So definitely not an Italian traditional meal, but maybe part of what nutrition will look like in the future. Oh, I have to confess I don't remember the details off the top of my head now, but I can definitely get those to you.
Yeah, we have definitely heard about that and are hoping to. Hopefully we can be up in time and be at the right place at the right time to catch a good glimpse of that.
We certainly try to focus on the mission before us and all the things that we have in common. You know, our passion for space, our commitment to this mission and to the space station program, but also all the things that bind human beings. All over the world, the love for our families, for our children, for our friends, and that's what we cherish and celebrate together. Yes, indeed. Well, as I was thinking about communication during this mission, which is my second space flight, I was thinking that I really wanted to reach the younger generations, the teenagers, the young adults, and I have been told they are to be found on TikTok, so that's where I went. So this first video, of course, we're going to do more about, the life on space station and all the activities up here, and maybe also answering questions that people have posted on the platform. But yeah, this first video was really a little bit of a recap of that spectacular launch night that we had a couple of weeks ago. So it was a way to share the highlights of that amazing day.
I wouldn't dare compete with her, but I have volunteered to help her out, so I can be a videographer or whatever is required for TikTok videos. So I am definitely not the only one. Off the top of my head, Drew Feustel, who is a member of the astronaut corps, and also ITA astronaut, is also volcanologist. So I'm definitely at least the third, and I'm sure I'm missing a couple as well. But it is super exciting to be up here and getting to see the Earth from this new perspective. Yeah, for me, I'm super excited about the opportunity to see the Earth from the unique vantage point that the ISS offers. We have other assets in low Earth orbit and on the ground, obviously, ways of acquiring data and information about the Earth. But using that in conjunction with our perspective here on the ISS is something that's really exciting to me. And in thinking about applications to the Moon and eventually to Mars, there are a lot of analog features and processes that can tell us a lot about other planetary surfaces, using the Earth kind of as a laboratory to understand other planetary surfaces. So I'm looking forward to doing a little bit of that kind of observation while I'm up here. Well, sleeping is actually one of my very few superpowers. So sleeping is not a real issue for me up here. It's excellent to be able to sleep in microgravity.
Yes, I have actually stopped asking Wadi how she slept because she just sleeps fantastically anywhere, anytime. So that is definitely her superpower. I'm not at that level, but I'm also a pretty good sleeper, so I sleep quite well up here. And I have to say that is something I missed, that ability of, like, when it's time to go to sleep and, you feel yourself ready to go to sleep, I will be in my sleeping bag, maybe typing some emails, and then I will know, okay, now it's time to sleep, and I will just zip up my sleeping bag and close my eyes, turn off the light, and just let myself float and doze off, and it's a fantastic feeling. I like it a lot.
I think I would tell my 10-year-old self to continue to dream big, and the only way to ensure that you're not selected is to not apply. And so for me, finding pathways that were exciting to me, ways to pursue my passion, opportunities that led me down that pathway, finding mentors and teachers, instructors that helped encourage me along those pathways was what really enabled me to get to this point. So I would encourage my younger self and all young people to do the same.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I would talk to my younger self, just because, I mean, it turned out all right for me. I did become an astronaut, and if you go back in time, maybe it's my science fiction readings, but if you go back in time and you know, start talking to people, you might mess with the timeline. And so I might end up not becoming an astronaut, so I think I will just, you know, let her alone. Yeah, definitely true. I mean, we're very excited at ITA that indeed we got a, well, in general, a huge response from applicants all over Europe. We got more than, I believe, 25,000 applications this time around. So over three times more than back in 2009. And also, as you mentioned, the percentage of women has significantly increased, and so we are all confident that by the end of this year we will have several new astronauts, and among them certainly also several new female colleagues, which means that those young colleagues will be the ones who will lead the way in missions beyond low Earth orbit, so to the moon, and hopefully one day towards Mars.
Oh, absolutely. That would be so fantastic. We would have the best seat in the house. So we're super excited about all that NASA's doing with the Artemis program and taking this first huge step, their first giant leap, if you will. We're super excited about it.
Yeah, I think it's definitely an area where research and technology development and demonstrations on space station can have direct applications for life on Earth. NASA publishes every year like a pretty thick list of such spin-offs, and so I'm pretty sure that some of those spin-offs come from, just as you mentioned, our amazing ability to close the loop on water recycling. I mean, I think we're pretty close to 100% now of being able to recover the urine, the sweat, all the humidity from the air, and so hopefully there are companies out there and startups that take those technologies and scale them up and make them applicable to the challenges that we face on Earth, such as climate change-driven droughts.